Hello from TeamTardis. This is a brief demonstration of our project at Milestone One. We are developing a web application to help secondary school students learn history and geography. We have two major goals. The first is to use a familiar and intuitive user interface to show historical events in a geographical framework. Our application is based on Google Maps, but with some important additions. The slider at the bottom shows the range of dates that are currently being viewed. As you advance the end date, say to 1787, U.S. state borders begin to appear based on the date each state was admitted to the Union. If we go to 1804, historical events start appearing, shown as pins on the map. This one to the north shows the beginning of Lewis and Clark's expedition to find the Pacific Ocean, which began in St. Charles, Missouri. These pop-up descriptions can include text, images, audio, and video. Advancing our end date all the way to 1963 shows all 50 states and a few more events. Our second major goal is to allow students and teachers to add content to the application. We call this authoring. For teachers, this allows them to add local, obscure, or otherwise unavailable information that's relevant to the lessons being taught. For students, we hope that giving them the tools to add content will be engaging and challenging. Imagine that research assignments were in the form of adding new data to the map instead of turning in a 5-page double-spaced paper. To add an event, I first put the application in authoring mode with this button in the upper right. Next, I need to define a new contribution, which is a collection of new data. I'll call this Brad's contribution and say it's the best. I'm now going to define a new event. As a native Texan, this is very relevant. The Battle of the Alamo, which began in 1836 on February 23rd and ended a couple of weeks later, 306, with a very short description from the point of view of the Texans: lose the battle, win the war. Can I save that? And now we have a new pin, which denotes the Battle of the Alamo. This is just an early prototype of the application. Obviously, we have a long way to go. First, we need a lot more content. We need many more events, locations of cities, other borders, and so on. We're also going to add people, so that, for example, you could see where Thomas Jefferson was over the course of his life and which events he was involved in. In future versions, we'll add a concept we're calling a classroom, which will allow a teacher to select which data will be visible to students and to contain new contributions from those students. We'll be hosting this prototype on Heroku so that others can experiment with it. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to sharing our progress with you in 3 weeks.